All right, let's talk about maybe the most important project you'll ever manage, your own career. If you're still picturing your professional life as just climbing the corporate ladder, I think it's time for a bit of an upgrade. We're going to explore what it really means to take control and chart your own course.
But seriously, think about that for a second. For decades, that was the go-to metaphor, right? You start on the bottom rung and you just climb, step by predictable step, straight up. But does that really sound like the world we work in today? I don't think so.
So I want to propose a totally new way of looking at it. What if your career isn't some rigid ladder, but a wide-open map? A huge landscape with tons of different paths, different kinds of terrain, and pretty much endless destinations that you get to choose. It really shifts the whole thing from climbing to navigating.
And look, this new metaphor, it's more important than ever because the whole landscape of work has fundamentally changed. Those predictable, single-company careers are kind of fading away, and brand new paths are opening up all the time.
You can really see the difference here. On one side, you've got that traditional path, totally vertical, super predictable, and usually all within one company. But today, well, with so few jobs staying the same for long, the modern path is all about being flexible. It's a lot less predictable, and it often covers a bunch of different roles and even different industries.
And here's what that actually looks like. That traditional route, say an accountant becoming a finance manager, that's still a perfectly good path, but it's now just one option. There are so many new paths, like maybe starting as a freelancer, moving to remote consulting, and then launching your own business as a digital entrepreneur. The range of what's possible has just exploded.
Okay, so if it's a map, what are the main roads you can actually take? Let's do a quick tour of some of the most common career paths you can navigate these days.
First up is what we call the network path. And this isn't just about moving up. It's about strategically moving sideways into different roles to build a really broad base of experience. And why would you do that? Well, because it makes you a much more versatile and valuable candidate for those big leadership roles down the line. You're not just building a staircase, you're building a solid foundation.
Now, this one's similar, but the goal is a little different. This is the lateral path. It's a move to a new role at the same level, not for a promotion, but to find fresh challenges, learn new skills, and just get re-energized. It's a really proactive way to stay engaged and make sure your career doesn't get stale.
Next, we've got a solution for a super common career problem, the dual path. This lets technical specialists, coders, engineers, researchers, get promotions and earn more based on their expertise without being forced into management jobs they don't want or maybe aren't suited for. It's about honoring deep expertise as its own kind of leadership.
Okay, now this one might sound bad, but hear me out. In today's crazy, fast-paced world, taking a demotion can actually be a brilliant strategic move. It can be a way to consciously step back from unwanted stress or to pivot toward a totally new career without all the pressure of a high-level job. It's all about choosing your well-being and a long-term fit over a fancy title.
And finally, you can just decide to leave the established roads altogether. Free agents take full control. They become their own boss as freelancers, consultants, you name it. They get to design a career that fits their life, which gives them the ultimate flexibility. Now, the trade-off is a lot more responsibility, but hey, the reward is total freedom.
Okay, so we've got this map, and it's filled with all these different paths. That's awesome, but it can also be a little overwhelming, right? How in the world do you decide which way to go? Well, you need a compass. You need some tools for finding your own true north. And that compass? It's self-assessment. Let's be really clear, this is not some one-time quiz you take in high school and then forget about. It's an ongoing process of learning about yourself. And, it's your responsibility. Nobody else can do this part for you.
One fantastic tool, and this was developed by Benjamin Franklin, of all people, is the Strength-Weakness Balance Sheet. It's so simple. You just draw a line down a page and list out what you think your strengths and weaknesses are. Just the act of writing them down gives you incredible clarity about where you shine and where you might need to focus a little more.
Another great one is the likes and dislikes survey. What do you actually enjoy doing? What do you absolutely hate? Listing these things out helps you pinpoint the real non-negotiables for your next job. And you might even discover some weird restrictions you've been unconsciously putting on yourself.
So, how do we put all this together? You've got the map full of possibilities, you've got the compass of self-knowledge. Now you just need a career GPS, a system that turns all that insight into actual action and shows you the way forward.
Now, I know this might look a little complex, but don't worry about it. This is the career management cycle. I want you to think of it less like a confusing diagram and more like a powerful, repeatable system for navigating your entire professional journey. It's your personal GPS. See, that whole diagram really just breaks down into a simple 4-step loop. First, you explore and assess, both your options and yourself. Second, you set a clear goal. Third, you take action. And finally, and this is key, you get feedback and you adjust your course. Then you do it all over again. It's a continuous cycle of learning and growing.
And that brings us to a really crucial point: understanding your role versus your company's. Career planning is what we've been talking about. It's your personal journey and you own it 100%. Career development, on the other hand, is the formal process your company uses to make sure it has the right people. Your plan and their plan should hopefully align, but at the end of the day, you're the one holding the pen for your own map.
So, we've covered the new career map, all the different paths you can take, and the tools you need to find your way. That old ladder is basically gone, and it's been replaced by a world of possibilities. So the only real question left is the one right here. Now that you have the map, and you have the compass, where are you going to explore first?